hi, and welcome to the only drive of its own kind because it is the Drive with Sasha, a space where we chat to young, influential, and fearless women in Africa, discussing issues that affect us and how we as young people can assist the implementing partners in the world to better address these issues and find solutions. My name is Amhelang, but please call me Sasha, and I'm your host with the most. And today we have the amazing members of the NextGen squad, which is a group of young women from different MOSAIC countries who are holding MOSAIC accountable to the promises it made to serve young people in their respective countries. With that said, ladies and gents, please have a warm welcome from my guests. We have Kalimpilo Henangambule representing Vitsarisha in South Africa. We have Rubuna Nagai representing FHI 360 in Uganda. And last but not least, we have Sanele Ngulube representing PZ in Zimbabwe. Without wasting any more time, USAID has three following categories from USAID Youth in Development Policy, which are youth-led, youth-relevant, and youth-focused. Now, given limited resources, what type of youth-led activities should USAID invest in and why? Over to you, Rubuna.
Well, thank you, Sasha, so much for this show. I'm amazed to be in this place. So for me, what comes out really mostly is I appreciate the youth-led activities that are really available for us as young people. Looking at the limited resources that are available, I feel we have a lot of peer support that is required at community level. We need more engagements of young people at community level because it's much more easier to engage young people in their communities because they know their needs, they know what they require as young people in their communities. So engaging them at their communities is one of the things that would enable us to do things as young people, but also with the limited resources, we are able to expand to other places. It's also an empowerment for us as young people to take up spaces that are around us. So I feel USAID should, and if it's considerate enough, it should take up those community-led activities in our communities. Thank you so much, Sasha.
Thank you so much. Now, just following up on what you just said. So you're saying this activities needs to be implemented where young people are found and using the language that will be simpler for them to understand and also give better feedback to what USAID has to offer.
Yes. As young people, you can't do things for us without the young people. So if we tell our needs of the young people with the young people involved, then we're able to do our activities as young people. So yeah, I really do agree with you, Sasha.
I hear you. Thank you so much. I'm going to take it back home to South Africa. Kelly, do you have anything that you would love to add?
Thank you so much, Sasha, and thank you for the invitation to the Drive with Sasha. So to respond to your question, I would say it is important that youth-led activities continue even with limited resources. And one way to work around limited resources is to ensure that young people are still supported, trained, and capacitated with skills and knowledge so that they can be HIV prevention ambassadors and equipped to support other young people. Yes. With limited resources, I would say that USAID must invest in young people the way they have, but perhaps scale down and focus on interventions at a community level. I also think a key activity USAID could invest in is capacitating young people to be at the forefront of activities, to seek and secure additional resources so that they are situated to present the case of why these resources are required and what differences they will make. Youth-led activities would need to focus on skills building and capacitation so that the work done in USAID activities is sustainable. Thank you.
Okay, no, I hear you, and I love all your contributions, ladies. I'm going to pose my last questions, and remember, if you have any questions that you would love to address to my beautiful guest, the number to dial is 011-772-0992, or you can simply pop it in the chat, and I'll read it live on air. Now, MOSAIC is launching a youth-focused movement to prevent HIV accusation for the next generation. How can USAID programs better engage youth and youth-led organizations as leaders in HIV programs and services? For an example, in demand generation and service delivery. I'm going to hand it over to Sanele.
Thank you, Sasha, for the question. So I think the the best way probably to engage the youth is through maybe training and education. It's important that we let qualified young people lead programs that are youth focused or that are youth relevant. So maybe if we can have USAID having to train young people to interact with other young people, maybe for example, if young people are trained on HIV testing or on HIV counseling or mental health, to be mental health specialists, that would help because young people like peer to peer, it has more impact. So maybe we can have young people being trained, and maybe if we can also make use of youth-led organizations to implement programs that are meant for the youth. Let's have the young people taking the lead and, implementing programs that are meant for them. Maybe if I can give you an example, let's say we have to do a research on HIV prevention. If we can use maybe, let's say, a youth-led organization, probably we say at a local youth center, and we have young people being the data collectors, we have young people doing the HIV testing and everything, all the services that need to be delivered to young people. So let's train young people to do those things and let's have them implement the programs that are meant for them.
So I hear you. So what you're saying is USA should invest in upscaling young people in different organizations to help them better be faces of other young people so that they are better. It becomes easier for them to engage with each other.
Yes.
I'm also seeing hearts, celebrations, fires, hands in the chats. Girl, you preaching. I like that. I would like to hand it over back to Rubuna. Rubuna, what do you think about this?
Thank you, Senele. Thank you so much. Your points are really, really what we need as young people. I think adding on what Senele has said, we need to be involved. We need the seat at the table, at the planning phase, at what are you engaging young people in. We need to be at the beginning of every engagement of young people. So if we are planning to put up an activity, are we engaging young people from the start, other than bringing implementations and then involving young people at the phases of implementation? So we need from the start, are the young people at the seat of the table? When I heard Senele talking about trainings for young people, do we plan for mentorships after the trainings? Do we plan for follow-ups of these young people? So we need all this on grounds, and it supports us to sustain whatever we have as a community. So in as much as we're planning all these activities involving youth-led organizations, we need to be at the planning. We need to have mentorships that go on, but also follow-ups to ensure what we have trained is actually rolling out and it's working out for the young people, but also continually support the young people, because emotionally we need it, psychologically we need it, and physically we need it. So yes, to run the show, we need to be as healthy as possible. Thank you, Sasha.
Oh, thank you so much. What you just said now reminds me of what you said earlier, to say nothing for us without us, right? So you actually need to be involved from the planning. How are we going to make it sustainable and continuous? And also, how are you going to retain young people to actually come and access those services?
Yes, definitely, Sasha. Exactly that. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I think we do have a call. A caller. Hello.
Hi everyone. Hi Sasha.
Hey, how are you?
Really loving the conversation. The ladies are speaking the truth. My question is on checking for like effectiveness. At what point do they do evaluation of impact? Like if you're saying these programs are positive, at what point and how do we prove? Because you need to evaluate for you to get to prove that this is something that works. So then how do we do these evaluations to ensure that you have backup evidence to show that if I engage peer-to-peer, then it works? So how do you get the evaluations of impact? I think that's my main question.
Okay, ladies. As you've heard from Mary Mercy, she's asking, how are you going to measure your impact in your different communities? Thank you so much, Mary Mercy, and we appreciate you for being our listeners. I don't know, ladies, who can I throw it to?
One strategy that we can use probably is to make use of the QI teams that we have within our projects if you have in your project. For example, us under the MOSAIC project, we have the QI team. And maybe if we can suggest that the QI teams involves a young person to make sure that because the QI team, they make sure that they improve quality and that the programs are being implemented in fidelity. So maybe if we can also engage the young people to also be involved in monitoring to make sure that the programs that are youth relevant or that are youth focused.
Who do you think should be involved in doing this follow-ups? IPs, implementing partners, or young people at different communities?
So I was saying, Sasha, that follow-up is for all of us. Follow-up is for both for all the young people, for the implementing people, and also those who have brought the project on ground. So it's not only for the young people, because then how then do we continually have it? Or how then do we scale it up other places if the implementing partners are not in the process of evaluation and in the process of following up? So we all need to be in the fix of following up these activities and evaluating if they're creating impact. So it's the young people, it's the implementing partners, it's the everyone in this project that needs to be part of it, even in the follow-ups.
Okay, thank you so much. We have a comment saying, totally agree, and making sure that young people are part and parcel of the evaluation committee. They totally agree with you. Mary Mercy, I hope you are answered. I'll turn it back over to you, Elimbilo, to say, how can USAID programs better engage youth and youth-led organizations as leaders in HIV programs and services?
Okay, so I'd say ensuring that there are continued opportunities for young people to lead activities and projects, and having top USAID leadership and management involved more closely with youth structures where there are opportunities for mentorship and capacity building. For example, when Dr. Kawande came into South Africa, you and Chantal got the opportunity to interact with him and ask him valid questions about the future of HIV prevention and the likes. And having open feedback and communication mechanisms between program leadership and young people, and involving young people in identifying and developing strategies or approaches or tools needed for the implementation of the programs in the communities.
Another strategy that we can use to involve young people in programming probably is to make use of social media, as we know that, we are now living in a digital society, and young people, they are just smart people. So maybe if USAID can create platforms for young people on social media to get the concerns of young people and to help them mold their projects in a way that will suit young people, then they should have these platforms.
Thank you so much. I'm also seeing in the chat box saying, definitely, social media can enhance feedback and communication generally with young people within programs. And I also have to agree with that, like on 100, like per. Thank you so much. So there you've had it, ladies and gentlemen. The ladies are ready. So USAID, should you come to us at 12 midnight to say, hey, we are ready to implement this, we will wake up and take it and run with it. From my key points that I've heard, USAID, you need to invest a lot in advancing and upskilling young people. And also we need to allow young people to be at the forefront of any activities that will be happening in each different activities for different countries. And also we need to pave way for us to also know what it takes for a project to be implemented in a certain community. What is it that is needed, and how we as young people can contribute? Because from hearing what these amazing fearless leaders have said, we are ready to take anything starting from the ground and watch it grow. Thank you so much, ladies, for taking this time to take this call with me. And thank you so much for keeping the chat box alive with your emojis and the crowns, because what? I am the queen. And thank you so much I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. And I feel like we just spoke for a minute. Guys, time flies when you're having fun. And as I always say, from this heart to yours is one love. Take care of yourself and people around you. The Drive with Sasha, signing out.
version of ourselves.